You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 134. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
And I'm Jeff Barnard, the one called him, born in a cocoon, born to be invincible.
Wow.
You had no idea, right?
No! Comic Reflections is brought to you by Rhymes with Geek. You can check out our show, plus many other cool podcasts like the all-new Anti-Fanboy, Feed It Comics, and Superhero Speak at rhymeswithgeek.com. And if you enjoy this show, please subscribe to us on either iTunes or Stitcher. Plus, check out backissueheroes.com, another place where we're at, and it's groovy.
And okay, indeed.
That was real quick, but yeah. I'm like, I need to work that into the intro now. I'm beta testing new.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they're all great.
Oh, you talking about the comics today?
Oh, I'm talking about the people you're talking about.
Oh yes. Sorry.
The comics are great too. One's not, but you'll see why.
Okay. So, but let's just get going. The first issue we're going to talk about today is Thor number 166, and the story is called A God Berserk, written by Stan Lee, with art by Jack Kirby, penciled by Ink Coletta, and this is great. Yeah,
so Thor is angry. He is Hulk angry.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty angry.
Yeah. Sif was stolen, and he is gone berserk.
The Lady Sif and Baldur's trying to calm him down, and nothing's working. Oh, Thor he's got the warrior madness going. Oh yeah, he's going totally ape.
He's just blowing stuff up just for the devil of it. Just a bunch of ground and all that stuff, but still.
Yeah. He's destroying all kinds of crap. And Carnilla, Queen of the Norns, is behind this, isn't she?
Yeah, and it's really cool.
Oh, there's a great full-page splash of her just looking gorgeous. And she's got a minion called Hag, who is a hag.
Well, it has two A's, so it's Hag. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure.
But yeah.
All right, so she's ticked off that Baldur
has rejected her.
Yeah, and hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Yeah.
And she's mad.
Yeah. So for some reason, Thor has to fight Adam Warlock, who is called him in these days.
Oh, okay. I didn't know who that was. So Thor and Baldur go off, and the hammer takes him to exactly where he needs to be. So Baldur says, "Hey, I'll take over because you are mad." But
Thor won't listen.
No, it doesn't matter because Baldur is held back,
trapped by a tree.
Yeah, and here we see him, who looks like one of the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
So,
but him is Adam Warlock. So,
I never heard of Adam Warlock.
We have read some stuff with Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock was, remember those Hulk when we did all those Hulk issues?
Oh,
Adam Warlock was the guy who was the Christ figure on Counter Earth.
Yeah.
And we'll have some Adam Warlock fairly soon also. Like it's his book.
Okay.
So
interesting. But he does look like a Beach Boy.
He does.
And so, well, they get to fighting.
And Kirby draws him a lot bulkier than anybody else does. But that's okay.
Yeah. Well, he's super strong, but it doesn't matter because Thor, who's hulkified, angry, is not going to give up, and he beats him up. And then we see Odin.
Yeah.
Odin is looking for Galactus.
Which is cool.
Yeah. And he sees, well, what's Hulk up to? And
Thor.
I'm sorry, Thor.
We get another full-page splash, and it's just a close-up of Odin.
Yeah.
It looks great.
He has both eyes here.
Yeah, and Odin doesn't lose the eye for a long, long time in Marvel Comics.
I love the helmet. So, he sees Thor. I almost said Hulk again. In his rage. He says, he's got the warrior madness. And that's forbidden. Which is interesting because going berserk was a good thing for Vikings. It was
and just an okay movie for John Candy.
Oh yeah.
But
they actually called berserkers, and they were honored.
Well, right. But here's the thing: in this case, the warrior man, they're warriors. They're valiant in battle and they're great strategists and all this stuff. The warrior rage is you're turning on your friends too.
And I guess, and I just thought of this, is that you don't want a god coming berserk.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
You need to kind of stay in control. So him, or Adam Warlock, goes back into his cocoon, and Thor sends him away, and he's out floating in space.
He finds Lady Sif, and she.
I guess in the movie Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the objects that the Collector had was Adam Warlock's cocoon.
Ooh.
So maybe he'll show up in the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lady Sif is rescued.
All right, so.
Has Thor regained his senses?
Yeah, he regained his senses, and they said, you've had warrior madness since. Oh, and now Odin's going to be really ticked off, and you'll have to get some kind of sentence. So this is one of the great things Thor says. Thor hath done the deed, Thor must pay the price.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So Odin has built a spaceship, or had a spaceship built, and as cool as, I don't know, the coolest spaceship ever.
Okay. It is pretty excellent looking.
Yeah.
So he's gonna send Thor somewhere.
Yeah, to find Galactus, and may be forever.
Yeah.
And that's what you get.
Yeah. Although nothing is forever in comics. And certainly, yeah.
Yeah. We have two cool an ad with two cool covers. Sergeant Fury coming home. Let's see, he's
from
got
the
a
war.
gun. Yeah. Or was he just coming home for
R&R? I don't know, but it's Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos.
Yeah. And look at this cool Submariner. What a great cover that is.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for that issue.
But it was a good issue.
Man, oh yeah, it's wonderful, full of Kirby goodness. Now the next Thor we've got to talk about now, John Buscema has taken over art duties on the book.
And I could not tell. I was saying, hey, you sure Kirby's not doing this?
Well, he definitely employs plenty of Kirbyisms. John Buscema, I've said up and down and many times, look, he is the guy that can follow Kirby on a book and do it right. A lot of, I've seen books where like Don Heck, follows up on Avengers and it's just not as good. But Buscema, he followed Kirby on the Fantastic Four. He followed him on Thor, and he did great. And he's one of my favorite comic artists. But yeah, this is Thor number 213, and the story is The Demon Brigade, written by Jerry Conway and Len Wein.
Yeah. Oh, Demon Brigade is my old army outfit.
Oh.
No.
No. Okay. But yes, great. John Buscema and Don Perlin penciled this, and Vince Colletta inked it. So.
Well done.
Yeah. So, Thor and the Warriors 3, and I think Hildegard, the Valkyrie, are battling these lizard men.
And they are endless.
Yeah.
And they're fighting, and Odin is wimping out. Hey, just surrender, guys. And Odin is dressed like a peasant, and it's really... And for a while, I didn't know that was Odin. Who's the old guy? Odin? Really?
Yeah, so we will understand why he is that way. So these Asgardians, they're fighting to liberate these good these weak people from the lizard men.
And they're in let's see, Dark Star? Is that the name? No, it can't be Dark Star. It's something. They're in this city called Golden Star, the planet Golden Star.
Okay.
So one by one they get knocked down. And Thor gets hit by a big old boulder.
Right.
While he's attacking their leader, the bad guy's leader is Sithgar. Yeah. All right, so
we learn that Odin was drugged, and then subsequently so are the Warriors 3 and Hildegard.
Yeah.
And Thor is bound, and I think the same fate awaits him, but he rejects the food that they're giving him.
He's been knocked out, and the other people have eaten. But Thor has not. And Thor refuses the food because it smells bad, and he says, wait a minute. I bet this food's drugged.
Yeah, and it saps their will. It makes you obedient. No other explanation can be given that noble Odin would submit to these lizard people. So
Thor kicks butt, and he smells the food. Aha! It has been drugged. So he escapes and finds the girls are left alone. They don't have any. Yeah, what's up with that? Aren't they dangerous too?
The lizard men probably think half females. I don't have to worry about it.
Oh, they did diss the females earlier. So we have Hildegard and Tana now.
And Tana now, she's alien. She's lovely. She has a large, like, kind of bulbous head.
Yeah.
But in the helmet, I don't know. She looks pretty.
And we saw her earlier.
Did we?
Yeah, a couple episodes ago. She was hanging out with Jane.
That's Tana now. Okay. Okay.
Small world, isn't it?
Yes, I don't know so much about her arc. I think she also shows up in Kirby's 2001 Space Odyssey comic, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
Ooh.
We have an issue of that we will talk about in a few months.
Yeah, I was thinking when I was reading this, there's no Jane anymore, and that's a good thing, because now Thor can go into outer space for months and months.
Yeah.
As long as, Lady Sif's not here, but
But the Jane not being around, that's not permanent.
Darn.
Okay.
Well.
So.
Alright, so Thor comes out with the girls, and he meets one of the members of the Resistance. And they talk about, and they make a plan. They tell about the story about how they got conquered.
Yeah, by the lizard men. And it's, it's kind of the same as all conqueree stories, but it's an important plot point.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. So they make a plan, and they go out, and they're going to destroy where they make the powder. And then Thor is going to just kick some butt, I guess. I'm not sure what he does. But we had this great ad for probably a super important issue.
Oh, it's a key issue. It's Amazing Spider-Man number 122, and you folks will remember that's the issue right after Gwen Stacy's killed. And it's the Green Goblin's last stand, and it's Spidey's face-off to the end with the Green Goblin. Spoilers, Norman Osborn is killed in that issue. And then, like 30 years later, they'd be like, "Oh, he wasn't really dead." But Norman Osborn stayed dead for a long time, and that's a very important issue of Spider-Man. So yeah, we got a house ad for that. So
that's cool.
This is early 70s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Thor fighting the lizard men. And it's sweet.
Yeah. Alright, so the lizard man, Sithgar, is having a party, but he supposedly knows that Thor has escaped. I wouldn't, you got a god escaped. I wouldn't throw no party.
Priorities, folks. But yeah.
They blow up. The underground blow up the drug companies. They're making the drug that stupors everybody. And so Thor escapes, and Sithgar is stuck here now, and people are going to get mad, and they're going to kill me, so please come back and save me, guys. And
so his fate is to be left all alone.
Yeah. He won't be alone for very much longer.
Right.
He's going. So that was awesome.
Oh man, cool house ad for the Tales of the Zombie from Marvel. Of course, it's from Marvel, but that's a really interesting series. Simon Garth, the zombie, is a cool character.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
All right, we got
one more issue of Thor to talk about.
Yeah.
And it's a good one. Wow, this is a wild issue. It's Thor number 228, and the story is called Ego, The Beginning of the End, written by Jerry Conway, penciled by Rich Buckler, Arvil Jones, and Keith Pollard, and inked by Joe Sinnott.
Yeah. Oh
man, this is wild. Okay, Galactus is in battle with Ego, the living planet, and Firelord, Galactus's herald, and Hercules are fighting these creatures that are on the surface of Ego. And
Mhm.
Thor has to go into Ego's brain.
Yep. Oh man, and it's so Kirby-esque and Kirby-licious. This is
Yeah.
great. Oh man. So it's a huge battle.
Kirby's legacy at Marvel is like, he may not be on a book, but the impact is still there, and the things that he did, Kirby dots, all that stuff is still present here.
Man, the minions are all these gray creatures, which is very Kirby-esque, and they're humanoid, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
And these beings are basically just like bacteria that Ego is controlling. So
Thor is hit by a laser beam, and he's Kirby-esque into the middle where the brain is, and he loses his. He turns into what Ego was before the Cataclysm returned.
Right. Yeah. This is how we were able to sort of learn the origin of Ego, the living planet. And I think it's really brilliant because Ego was a man named Egros. And Thor, we see him as Thor, but these other people, I guess, from Ego's world, from when he was a man, are there.
There's a Project World Core, so the sun's going to supernova.
Yeah.
They don't have a space program, so they're going to build a big hole in the ground and then put everybody in stasis. So when the world cools after the nova, they can come out.
Yeah.
But the problem is they'll have no sun then. What good?
Right. Remember the movie or the book? Excuse me. Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yes.
Well, remember there was that hollow part in the interior, and there was artificial light created from like crystals or some stuff, and flora and fauna flourished in that underground world. Perhaps there's a similar concept at play here.
Maybe so. Okay. But unfortunately, they got everything ready, got all the people down, and so the two guys, Egros and his assistant, and look up and say, oh no, the supernova is 50 seconds early. So they're kind of cutting it close, you know.
Well, look, Jor-El, Krypton is doomed. You know, like, what do we do, you know?
Yeah, indeed.
You can only predict so much, you know?
Right.
So,
but they're super surprised it was wrong. And they had it down to the second.
Right. So anyway.
So they're unable to seal the cavern.
The World Core project, yeah. We get a great 2-page splash of their sun going nova.
Yeah, and all it says is Nova. So
yeah, so this is a terrible cataclysm. This race is being wiped out, but something weird happens.
Yeah. Egros is turned into Ego, the planet, and he's turned alive.
Yeah, and he's kind of a living representation of his whole race, but it's really his consciousness.
Yeah, and he feels guilt that he let his people die.
Yeah.
And that turns him mad.
Yeah.
So it's the mad planet.
Yeah, and that's the problem. So Thor now knows what's up with Ego, how he came to be. And so we kind of see him back with Hercules and Firelord. Firelord, of course, the Herald of Galactus, presently.
And they reach the brain, and Thor bashes it.
Weird.
And then they get out, and then Galactus brings them up.
Yeah, back to Galactus' ship.
Yeah, and so they say, oh, we defeated him, but he's still there, and so he's still a problem. So Galactus, I got this.
He mounts a rocket thing on Ego that will send Ego deep in space.
Yeah.
In exile.
And, yeah.
Yeah,
that's something else.
It's really weird. And Galactus feels an odd kinship with Ego because, in a way, he is the natural predator for, well, any planet, especially a living one. But if Ego wasn't a madman, because he'd been driven insane, they were in a sense brothers. Galactus's origins mirror Ego's somewhat. So
yeah. Great single-page splash of of Galactus
Yeah.
with our heroes, and Galactus has a big G on his uniform, I guess, so that prevents people from using his clothes accidentally.
Right. So when it's interesting, and Firelord wants to be free of being Galactus' herald. It's actually a crappy job, if you think about it. I mean, yeah, you have the power cosmic, that's awesome, but you don't get paid anything, and you're a slave, and you're finding worlds to be devoured.
Right,
and frequently that means inhabited worlds, billions of lives being ended. So Galactus says, okay, if someone can take your place, then you can go.
Yeah, so they find someone. They find the
Destroyer, the Asgardian armor that is not a person but a thing. And so Galactus is able to imbue it with some of the power cosmic, and it will serve him as like a robot.
Which is pretty damn clever.
Yeah, and then Firelord, without even a word of thanks to his comrades Thor and Hercules, just bails.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a cool issue. Wow.
Yeah, it is super awesome.
Yeah, I like Firelord.
I didn't see enough in there to like one or unlike one. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him in other stuff.
Okay.
So, one more issue to talk about today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is great. It's Archie Giant Series Magazine, number 457. It's the world of Jughead, so all Jughead stories. And the lead story is called Good Buddy Band, written by George Gladier, with art by Sam Schwartz.
Yeah. So, all right. Jughead is in the CB craze. And
the CB radio craze. And this is from the 70s, right?
Right.
Yeah. 1977.
That's when it really hit. I don't remember. CB radio was a little radio you can talk back and forth on. Cell phones kind of killed it, but it was a huge fad. I talked to him.
But there was like an open band of communication.
I think it would go about 30 miles or something.
Yeah, you could pick up the radio and just talk about anybody that was on this. It was like a party line that you could talk in and listen in on while you were traveling.
It gave us a couple of decent movies.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, and Convoy was okay.
Oh, yeah.
And some good old CB radio songs. Red Sovine.
Oh, there's a lot of those CB radio songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So Archie comics are always on the forefront of culture. So.
Yeah, they definitely pick up on trends or things that are happening, which is it's interesting to look at that.
Yeah. So Jughead brings.
That's interesting. Archie is timeless and also very like what's going on now. Let's comment on that at least in some subtle way.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. We're supposed to know everybody's names, but I totally forgotten the principal's name.
Mr. Weatherby.
Weatherby, yes. It's been a long time.
Okay. Okay.
So Jughead brought a CB to school, which no one ever. They left it out in the car because it requires in real life because it requires a power source, and I guess people had them in their home a few times.
Yeah.
But all right. So he gets on the intercom, and then he hears CB7 and makes him mad. So he's looking around.
Mr. Weatherby's looking around. He's trying to find out who's on that, interrupting our school intercom with your CB talk.
Yeah, and Jughead says, first Mama talks to Jughead, and Jughead thinks it's Betty Ford, the first lady at that time.
Right.
She was famously on the CB.
So,
along with Mel Blanc, which would be awesome because Mel Blanc would do Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck's voices. That would be amazing. That would blow my mind.
Yeah. So it turns out Miss Grundy is pretty hip. She's in on the CB craze as well, and so she and Jughead are talking on CB radios.
Right. So she accidentally knocks down the Swedish
Svensson, who is he's like the janitor or maintenance man at Riverdale High.
Yeah, and so Weatherby goes to where the CB was, and he sees the window open, so he closes the window or is trying to, and
Svensson thinks that Weatherby was the one that pushed him out the window and kicks Mr. Weatherby out the window.
I almost laughed. It's
Wow.
very for an Archie comic. It's pretty funny. So, all right, we got a Josie and Smart Alex. It's a Twinkie alert.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and so Josie and Pussycats are a musical band that are kind of based on. Well, they look exactly like the Archie people, and they had a TV show which was mildly entertaining.
Yeah. And Josie, Josie and the Pussycats, they exist along with Sabrina and the Teenage Witch in that Archieverse.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and Archie plays me. Excuse me. Alex brings the girls to a ski resort and plays mean, nasty tricks on them. And this is one thing Josie says. Alex, you're weird. You're a real weird city. Weird City, people don't know, was the original name for Portland.
You're being funny again.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to. I think that's a great name. They ought to call it Weird City because it'd be perfect. So.
Okay.
All right, so that's cool.
All right.
I'll skip that.
Yeah.
All right. So
there are some one-page fillers, but we have, as a rule, we'll skip these with the Archies. So, but here's another Jughead story. It's called Storm Center, and this is written by Frank Doyle again, and with art by Sam Schwartz. And this is a reprint from Jughead number 190. And there's a snowstorm, and Jughead's mom sends Jug out to get groceries in the snow.
Yeah.
Where's Jughead's father? Drunk again.
You know, here's the dog and
Hot Dog.
Hot Dog. I thought that was Archie's dog. I didn't know.
I had made that mistake too. It's Jughead's dog.
Maybe, or maybe he stays where he wants to. But as a dog, I would stay with Jughead because he's always eating.
Right.
All right. So they go out to the blizzard. They go to the store. They get the food, they bring it back, they get all kinds of trouble, and they finally make it back, and he forgot the pepper.
And the hamburger meat.
Well, yeah. He wasn't going to go out called for pepper, but hamburger, he's going out.
And that's it. So he goes back in after much finagling from Mom. That's the whole story.
Yeah, that's it.
So another Jughead story, it's called Downhill Dandy. And this is written by George Gladier with art by Sam Schwartz. And it's a reprint from Jughead number 202. Mm-hmm. So Riverdale High has a ski team.
A downhill racing team, which is, I don't know. I always thought that was kind of like a European thing in the 70s. And there was a movie, I think, had Robert Redford in it, I think.
See, this is another Archie speaking to something from the times. Like, skiing is becoming a big sport. Well, how about some stories about skiing?
Yeah. So Reggie is into it, and so is
Reggie. Reggie. Mm-hmm. I'm just laughing.
Oh, okay.
Because every time I think of Reggie, I'm like, God, what a jerk.
I know.
And I laugh,
Yeah, Archie's into it as well. Okay. Jughead is kind of like a Jerry Lewis character, especially later on. It's just, and
I can see that.
Good-hearted, goofball, and clumsy. Being chased by this girl, Big Ethel.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cruel. I don't know. It feels sad. But who is he going to go out with except for Big Ethel?
Well, he doesn't even he's not interested in girls.
Yeah. They could have made her look nicer, but he doesn't. He's still scared of him. So.
Yeah.
Because he's still.
I mean, she's tall and has buck teeth, and okay.
Yeah. That's kind of so.
Yeah.
So she comes up to him and she sees, and Jughead sees her, so he dresses up like Archie. And because Archie's
got a helmet and goggles, right? So she recognizes Jug from his nose.
Right.
And so she chases him downhill, and he by accident does all these great ski moves and wins the ski race.
Yeah, with his awkward, abandoned style. Let's see. Yeah, awkward, abandoned style. I like that.
Yeah,
but that's very Jerry Lewis thing. So.
Yeah.
And
Big Ethel wants to congratulate him, and Jug just jumps out the window.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's
yeah, because he's so fearful he'll go through plate glass.
Man. So I think we've got one more story in this issue. It's called "The Lesser of Two." It's written by Frank Doyle and with art by Sam Schwartz, and it's a reprint from Jughead number 204.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. I read this, and I don't know what happened in it.
Jughead runs into Betty, and Betty's all sad because of something Archie said or did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he says some sexist crap, and then
girls are lame or something like that.
Yeah, so Jug sees Archie and Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
And says something that sends Veronica packing. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, who's that tall, good-looking 18-year-old I just saw going in your house? And then, so...
She splits on Arch, and then Archie gets back with Betty.
Yeah.
Archie must have canceled a date with her to go out with Veronica or something.
I don't know why. I don't like Veronica. I mean, she's pretty, but she's mean.
Yeah, she's not a nice girl.
Yeah. Okay, I see why I forgot, because nothing much happens.
Yeah. Wow, these are hard-hitting Archie stories.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah. 'Tis a small world, Hercules, and friend or foe, we always meet again.